Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Wednesday, May 3, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. Baltimore Orioles vs Kansas City Royals. Baltimore slugged their way to an 11-7 victory in the opening game of their series with the Royals Tuesday night. It was no surprise as the odds makers offered the Orioles as a -174 betting favorite prior to the game. As for the total, the 18 combined runs were plenty enough to clear the pregame mark of 9.0 runs. Ryan Mountcastle had a monster day at the plate, going 3-6 with 2 home runs and 5 total RBI. Adley Rutschman also had a productive day as he was 4-5 with an RBI. As for the pitching, Tyler Wells made the start and earned the win after tossing 6.0 innings. The hurler allowed 4 earned runs on 3 hits and 3 walks. Kansas City actually had a successful day at the dish in Tuesday's 11-7 defeat as they cranked 4 home runs and recorded 7 hits as a team. Those long balls belonged to Bobby Witt Jr., MJ Melendez, and Salvador Perez, too. The biggest issue was the pitching staff as a whole, starting with Ryan Yarbrough. The starter allowed 5 earned runs on 5 hits and 3 walks over 3.2 innings before handing it over to the bullpen. From there, the arm barn allowed the final 6 runs as Kansas City dropped its 5th game in 6 tries. It has been an ugly season for Zach Greinke and the Royals organization as a whole. I'll go ahead and kick these guys while they're down and lock in the Orioles to take the second game of this series. On top of Greinke's awful year, he also hasn't fared well against Baltimore in his past. The current roster is slashing .340, .340, .453 over 53 at-bats. Specifically, some of the big guns at the top of the order have found a ton of success against the right-hander. Austin Hayes, Ryan Mountcastle, and Cedric Mullins are a combined 13-26, .500 against him with 1 home run and 2 doubles. Ultimately, the Orioles are in a much better position right now and they should run away with this game. Let's lock in Baltimore on the money line. On top of Greinke's struggles, the Royals bullpen also hasn't had a great season. They're currently ranked 27th in both ERA, 5.50, and WHIP 1.49. Honestly, I don't think it's too outlandish to say this is a game where the Orioles can clear the over by themselves, just like Tuesday's 11-run outburst. On the flip side, I'm not sure how much contribution we'll get from this lowly Kansas City offense. However, Kyle Gibson hasn't been untouchable this year as he brings in a 3.93 ERA and 1.31 WHIP. He also gave up 4 home runs over 29.1 innings in April. So, as long as the Royals are able to scratch across a couple of runs, I think we'll see this game go over the total relatively easy. Our total pick is over 9 runs. Los Angeles Angels vs St. Louis Cardinals. The Angels come into this game with a run differential of +18, which is good for 11th in the league. The high run differential has been largely aided by their top 10 ranking in runs scored on a per-game basis. The high run total has been boosted by the Angels' 7th ranked home run rate, but they also sit top 10 in plate appearances and are hovering around 10th in terms of batting average. Los Angeles hasn't been accustomed to hitting extra base hits, but their plate discipline has yielded them a high on-base percentage, and they sit in the top half of the league in both walk and strikeout rate. At around 8.5 hits per game, the Angels are giving themselves plenty of chances to drive runs in, and we saw in Game 1 that they can score in bunches, giving them a strong run cushion for the remainder of the game. St. Louis comes into this game with a run differential of -13, which is 19th in the league. Despite sitting 7th in batting average, the Cardinals sit bottom 10 in the league in runs per game, with just 4.24 on average. The low run totals have been compounded by the low home run rate and bottom 10 rating in hits for extra bases. It has been a bit of a disparity for the Cardinals, their poor run showing, as they are 5th in hits per game and are top 10 in plate appearances. With a low strikeout rate and high batting average, it is only a matter of due time before the Cardinals rally off for a multi-score inning. Through the first month of the season, the Cardinals have been the unfortunate victim of hitting into double plays at nearly the highest rate of the league, and this has stalled their offense on several occasions. If the Cardinals are able to not only send batters to base but avoid hitting into double plays, they have a great shot at bouncing back here. Even with his uptick in walk rate, Ohtani is striking batters out at nearly the highest rate of his career. His craftiness on the mound should keep the Cardinals from revering trend in extra base hits, and his high strikeout rate will continue to stymie the Cardinals from getting into an offensive rhythm. Nicholas has historically pitched better at home, although this season he hasn't shown that same home strength. Take the Angels to win their third straight. As touched on earlier, both of these pitchers are posting multi-year highs in strikeout rate in the early going of the season. The Angles have been able to accrue a high run rate due to their ability to go yard, but Nicholas has given up just one homer on his home mound over 3 starts this season. Likewise, the Cardinals haven't been able to split their runners up, often getting jammed up on infield hits and unable to regularly hit the ball out of the park. With 2 strong pitchers getting the start, take the under. Milwaukee Brewers vs Colorado Rockies. The Brewers could not complete the sweep, and their 3-game winning streak came to an end on Sunday as they were shut out 3-0 by the Los Angeles Angels, 15-14 Sioux, second in AL West. Milwaukee starter Colin Ray got the loss by going 5 innings and allowing 2 earned runs on 3 hits. Angels starter Jose Suarez picked up the win by going 5 innings and giving up only 2 hits, both singles, and striking out 6 Milwaukee batters. First baseman Jake Lamb gave Los Angeles the only offense they would need by going deep in the second inning off Ray. DH Shohei Ohtani also homered off Ray. Ohtani's blast measured 162 feet above the field, the highest a ball has been hit since StatCast started tracking in 2015. First baseman Jake Lamb also hit a home run for the Angels in the win. Los Angeles' relief corps allowed only 1 hit in 4 innings to preserve the shutout. The Angels were struck out 10 times by Milwaukee pitchers. Lauer has gone 0-5 with has an eye-popping 15.91 ERA at Coors in his career. He has allowed 41 hits and 7 home runs to Rockies batters in 18.2 innings. He lasted only 2.2 innings in his last start on the road against Colorado, allowing 6 hits, 7 earned runs, and 2 home runs. The Brewers have a 3-5 record at Coors over the past 2 seasons. Freeland has pitched well at home against the Brewers, going 2-1 in 3 starts with a 1.50 ERA and a 1.11 WHIP. In 3 games on the road against the Rockies last season, the Brewers' pitching staff had a 6.49 ERA. The Rockies are ranked near the top of the league in home batting average, .273, and slugging percentage, so look for them to get to Lauer early for some hits and runs. Colorado has won 3 of their last 5 games against the spread. Most stats and trends point to a Rockies victory over the Brewers on Wednesday. Take the Rockies. The Rockies have gone over the point total in 5 of their last 6 games played at home. Either they or their opponent has scored 11 runs in 3 of their last 5 at Coors Field. The Brewers have gone over the point total in 3 of their last 5 games on the road. At least 11 runs were scored in total between these 2 teams in all but 1 game during their 4 games set at Milwaukee last season, and they scored a combined 39 runs in their 3 games at Coors. In 6 career starts at Coors, Lauer has a 15.91 ERA against the Rockies. He has allowed 41 hits and 7 home runs to Rockies batters in 18.2 innings. He lasted only 2.2 innings in his last start on the road against Colorado, allowing 6 hits, 7 earned runs, and 2 home runs. Colorado's pitching staff is struggling this season, ranking 28th in team ERA, 5.34. They are allowing 6.67 runs per 9 innings during home starts in 23. Milwaukee is ranked 11th in the league in runs scored per game with 4.74. The stats support a slugfest between these 2 teams on Wednesday. Our total pick is over 12 runs. Seattle Mariners vs Oakland Athletics. The Seattle Mariners are 12-16 to start the season. They are in 4th place in the American League West Division, as they are 5 games back of first place in the early goings of the season. The Mariners were in the midst of a 4-game losing streak before they snapped it with a win against Toronto on Sunday, April 30th. Oakland has a record of 6-23. They have the worst record in baseball, and things do not look like they will be turning around anytime soon. They are already 11.5 games behind first place in the AL West Division. The Athletics were on a 5-game losing streak before taking the final game against Cincinnati on Sunday, April 30th. On Wednesday, J.P. Sears will get the start for Oakland. Sears has a record of 0-2 in 5 starts this year. He has an ERA of 6.23. Sears has allowed 18 earned runs in 26 innings pitched. He has pitched 10.2 innings and allowed 5 earned runs at home this season. Gilbert allowed 6 earned runs in 4.1 innings pitched in his last start against the Angels. He suffered a loss in that outing. The pitching has been so poor from Oakland in the first month of play. Their pitching staff ranks close to last in all categories. After an above-average performance from their pitchers in Game 1, it would be hard to believe that they can go back-to-back games. Seattle's Gilbert has shown that he can dominate lineups this year. He has thrown 2 gems against the Cubs and Guardians. I would lean Seattle in this game because of his strong past and Oakland's dreadful start. Take the Mariners to cover. In 4 of Gilbert's 5 starts, the total has reached 7 runs or more. The bats could be alive for both teams in this game. The total has gone 7 runs or more in 4 of Sears' 5 starts. The runs will be scoring as each team's pitching will struggle. The over is 5-1 in the Mariners' last 6 during Game 2 of a series. The over is 4-0 in the Athletics' last 4 Wednesday games. Oakland hosts Seattle in Game 2 of their series on Wednesday.